Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, together with the Presidential Communications Office.
We bring you the latest, widest and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Abiba Saripauda.
And I'm Joe Fernandez from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to
Balitang Pambansa.
Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. vows to direct funds to priority projects and ensure stronger safeguards on spendings before signing the 2025 national budget before the year ends. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. announces an all-day free train rides in LRT Lines 1 and 2 and MRT 3 tomorrow, December 20. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. explains Jane Veloso's request for clemency will be up to the judgment of legal experts. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas presents the Philippine Polymer Banknote Series to President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. The Department of Trade and Industry strengthens its inspection of rice prices in the markets and promises to penalize violators. An assurance from the top government official will definitely go a long way in allaying fears of people who depend on the services provided by PhilHealth. The president practically guaranteed nothing will change when it comes to the kind of service the state health insurer provides, regardless of whether it receives government subsidy or not. PTV's Kenneth Paciente has the full report.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. declared the government's priority projects will receive funding in the coming year. This is the reason why the signing of the proposed national budget for 2025 has been postponed. The chief executive explained the budget still needs to be thoroughly studied, especially since some government agencies have made changes to their budget requests. And because the proposal has been approved in the Congress, only the veto power of the chief executive can be used to control the country's spending program for 2025.
I want to be very sure that the budget for 2025 is directed at the important projects that we have prioritized, number one. And secondly, that there is a stronger safeguards on the spending for the different projects.
He also pointed out the government must be careful in selecting which projects and programs to prioritize to ensure these will benefit the Filipino people without increasing the country's debt.
We are starting to see some project proposals that do not have the appropriate program of work, hindi walang appropriate na documentation, hindi maliwanag kung ano, saan pupunta ang pera. Kaya't yun ang liliwanagin natin. Kaya't kailangan mapunta sa tama para mabayaran natin yung utang. May bawi naman tayo dun sa ginastos natin, dun sa inutang natin. And that's what we are trying to clarify now.
According to the PCO, the President will still have a series of meetings about this before the 2025 budget is finally signed. The Chief Executive said the budget will be signed before the year ends. Regarding PhilHealth's budget, although no subsidy was allocated for next year, the President eased the concerns of many and assured PhilHealth services will not be affected.
Napakasimple lang ang garanti ko. Kahit may subsidy, kahit walang subsidy, kahit anong contribution, all of these issues, hindi mababawasan ang serbisyo ng PhilHealth. Hindi mababawasan ang bayad ng PhilHealth sa insurance claim. In fact, baliktad. Padadamihin pa namin ang serbisyong ibibigay ng PhilHealth, palalakihin pa namin ang pagbayad sa insurance claims.
From PTV Manila, Kenneth Paciente, Balitang Pambansa.
The Speaker of the House defended the recent decisions made by the legislative branch on certain allocations included in the 2025 national budget. One of them being the controversial zero subsidy for PhilHealth. In relation to this, the House leader gave his assurance the lower house will find a way to ease the burden of PhilHealth members. How? PTV's Mela Lismoras reveals in this report.
The House of Representatives is considering a one-year suspension of PhilHealth members' monthly premium contributions, pending an inquiry to determine if the agency's financial stability can support this measure. This was announced by House Speaker Martin Romualdez during his speech on the last day of the session of Congress before it goes on recess. They will launch a thorough and impartial investigation on how PhilHealth's funds will be managed next year.
If funds remain stable and in surplus, we will recommend a one-year suspension of premium payments for all paying members. This will serve as a form of relief to millions of Filipinos already grappling with inflation and rising prices.
The House leader also defended the funding for several government's ayuda programs against critics.
Sa mga kontra sa ayuda, handang ipakita ng administrasyong ito kung saan napunta ang bawat sentimong inilaan para rito. Lahat ng programa ito may totoong benepisyaryo, may totoong resibo.
On top of this, Romualdez also insisted that 2025 General Appropriations Bill, which the two houses of Congress have passed, can respond to the needs of every Filipino. He added they ensured every sector is supported, from agriculture to education, from healthcare to infrastructure. For the part of the Senate, Senator Amy Marcos had this call for the Department of Budget and Management and other agencies.
Ako rin ay nakikisuyo sa DBM na huwag tayo mauwi sa sistema ng FLR, yung mahiwagang for later release.
From PTV Manila, Melalas Moras, Balitang Pambansa.
Some good news. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. announced an early Christmas gift for passengers. Free rides on LRT1 lines 1 and 2, as well as MRT3 all day tomorrow, December 20. More than 1 million passengers are expected to benefit from this. According to the chief executive, this initiative is a simple way to help Filipinos reduce their expenses as they prepare for Christmas. The government will subsidize the cost of the free rides. Historically, the last Friday before Christmas records the highest number of train passengers. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. announced legal experts are studying the call for clemency for Mary Jane Veloso. According to the chief executive, although the Indonesian government has set no conditions for Veloso's transfer, the decision regarding the granting of clemency will be left to the legal experts.
We still have to have a look at really what their status is. And then, of course, we are aware of the request for clemency from our representative, from Bagong. And we will leave it to the legal judgment of our legal experts to determine whether the provision of clemency is appropriate.
Meanwhile, the Department of Justice said executive clemency is not the only option for Mary Jane Veloso, as she can also be granted parole or pardon. The DOJ explained if executive clemency is granted to Veloso, it will come solely from an order by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. It is also possible that clemency may be extended to others. If it's parole or a pardon, the new rules under the Good Conduct Time Allowance Law will apply. The Board of Pardons and Parole, along with the Bureau of Corrections or Bucor, will study if Veloso can be released.
Kung naman sa parole, iyan ay isang proseso na kung saan after na makapag-serve ka ng minimum time doon sa sentence mo, ay pwede kang pag-aralan ng Board of Pardons and Parole kung pwede kang bigyan ng palayain ka na. Dito papasok yung GCTA, yung Good Conduct Time Allowance, dahil kahit napakahabang sentensya mo, kung ikaw ay mabait doon sa loob ng piitan, pwedeng tumatakbo yung oras at the same time, nakaka-earn ka ng credits na tinatawag. At dahil doon, lumiliit yung panahon na kailangan mong iserve bago ka pwedeng mag-avail ng parole.
There is just something about new and crisp paper bills for the traditional aguinaldos that put those who will receive them in a very jolly mood. What more if they also come in new designs, as the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas introduces these new polymer banknotes this month. PTV's Clazel Padilla supplies the details.
The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas unveils and presents the first ever Philippine polymer banknote series to President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Similar to the 1,000 polymer bill launched in 2022, the new banknotes are made of durable polymer material, making them resistant to tears, water damage, and viruses. The polymer notes are expected to last over 7 years and feature advanced security measures such as holograms to prevent counterfeiting. President Marcos said the introduction of the new currency aligns with global practices, noting that countries like Australia, Canada, and Singapore release new banknote designs every decade to enhance security.
Today, the Philippines proudly joins their ranks, ensuring that our currency remains secure, durable, and sustainable. By upgrading our currency, we are making sure that every hard-earned peso stays safe, whether it is saved, whether it is spent, or whether it's invested.
Unlike previous designs featuring national heroes, the new banknotes highlight the Philippines' rich biodiversity with images of endemic animals and plants. The 1,000 peso bill showcases a Philippine eagle and sampaguita. The 500 peso bill features a Visayan spotted deer. The 100 peso bill highlights a Palawan peacock, while the 50 peso bill includes a Visayan leopard cat. The new legal tenders are also eco-friendly and recyclable.
The introduction of the first Philippine polymer banknote series reflects the progress we are making as a Bagong Pilipinas, practical, innovative. Will add more excitement to our kids when they come and ask for their aguinaldo.
According to the BSP, the new banknotes will initially be available in limited quantities in Metro Manila this month, with nationwide distribution expected by January 2025. Old banknotes remain legal tender but can be exchanged for the new polymer series at authorized banks. Kalezal Cordelia, Balitang Pambansa.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. officially welcomed Lieutenant General Arthur Cordura as the new commanding general of the Philippine Air Force during the change of command ceremony. PTV's Kenneth Paciente has more.
The leadership of the Philippine Air Force has been transferred from retired PAF Commanding General Lieutenant General Stephen Pareño to its new leader, Lieutenant General Arthur Cordura. Armed Forces of the Philippines Commander-in-Chief President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. led the change of command ceremony. In his speech, the President recognized the achievements of the PAF under General Pareño's leadership, particularly the monitoring of the country's airspace, conduct of maritime patrol missions, and assured the territorial integrity of the nation.
His steadfast commitment to the command has thrust accelerate PAF with excellence has inspired every airman to embrace the ideals of competence, professionalism, and responsiveness, the values that have guided your every endeavor. The legacy of your leadership is etched in the achievements of the Philippine Air Force under your watch.
The chief executive also praised the role of the PAF in responding to disasters and humanitarian efforts where many Filipinos were helped.
Your tenure, Lieutenant General Pareño, likewise marks significant strides in capability enhancement for our Air Force. The acquisition of one C-295 medium-lift aircraft, 2 T-129 attack helicopters, 1 mobile radar, 1 fixed radar, and 10 S-70I Black Hawk helicopters, among other critical equipment, has increased our readiness to confront evolving challenges.
The AFP Commander-in-Chief also expressed confidence the PAF will further be improved under General Cordura's leadership. He also urged the Air Force to continue excelling in carrying out its mandate, especially in matters of national defense.
These times call for vigilance and for resolve. There is no room for complacency, for any pause in our efforts to risk compromising the safety and welfare of the Filipino people. We must ensure that the continued modernization of our armed forces remains a priority, empowering us to protect the ideals that define our nation.
Cordura is the 40th Commanding General of the PAF. He is a native of San Fernando, Pampanga, and graduated cum laude from the Bigkislahi class of 1990 of the Philippine Military Academy. Before his appointment as PAF commander, his key positions in his military career included serving as the Vice Chief of Staff of the AFP, Vice Commander and Chief of Air Staff of the PAF, Commander of the Air Force Reserve Command, and others. From PTV Manila, Kenneth Pasyente, Balitang Pambansa.
Ako po si Liceo Toscano, nandiraan sa Barangay Manubuan. Hindi lingid sa atin na kung walang titulo ang iyong sinasaka o yung lupa, hindi ka talaga makapa-improve. Pero ngayon, makikita man natin na yung pursigi kaming mag-asawa, talagang nandyan na. Kaya nagpasalamat kami dahil dito. Ito ang nagpapalakas sa amin na magtanim upang yung kinabukasan namin masagana. Kaya masasabi ko na itong titulo na ito ay talagang nagpapatibay at saka nagpapalakas sa isang tao. Pero kung wala kang ganito titulo, medyo alanganin ka. Kasi alam natin sa kapanahonan ngayon, mahirap. Mahirap ang mag-improve sa lupa na yung sinasaka. Pero kung meron ka ng titulo, lahat talagang magagawa mo. Kaya malaki talaga ang pasalamat namin. Kung wala kang lupa na siguro na iyong-iyo, hindi ka makapagpupundar ng maganda. Kaya salamat ako sa DAR municipal level at sa provincial level, lalong-lalo na sa ating DAR secretary at sa ating presidente, mahal na presidente, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.
Japanese National Security Advisor Akiba Takeo pays a courtesy call on President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. in Malacanang. The two leaders discussed strengthening cooperation to ensure the security of both countries. President Marcos gifted Takeo with a birthday cake as his courtesy call coincided with his 65th birthday.
On the other news, the Department of Trade and Industry has intensified its price monitoring to ensure the availability of regular and well-milled rice priced at 40 to 45 pesos per kilo. DTI Secretary Cristina Roque stressed rice is essential for Filipino families and warned against price manipulation. Monitoring teams are inspecting markets nationwide to enforce fair trade laws, with violators to face fines, closure, or other penalties. Secretary Roque reaffirmed the government's commitment to providing affordable rice for every Filipino and building a secure and inclusive Bagong Pilipinas.
Concerned government agencies are working together to find a solution to the heavy traffic being experienced in various roads in Camarines Sur. Brigadier General Andre Dizon, Director of Police Regional Office 5, in a report from the Philippine News Agency said they have mobilized various units of the police force to monitor and assist in areas where traffic buildup is likely to happen. Regional offices of the Department of Public Works and Highways, the Land Transportation Office, the Highway Patrol Group, Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council of Camarines Sur, as well as the affected local government units are also helping address the massive traffic problem. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. says it is now up to the Department of Justice to act on the recommendations made by the House Quad Committee in relation to its probe on the previous administration's war on drugs. The Quadcom recommended that charges of crimes against humanity be filed against former President Rodrigo Duterte and several others for their alleged role in the bloody campaign against illegal drugs. The chief executive explained such matters are already under the jurisdiction of the Justice Department.
The recommendation ng Quadcom, ganun naman talagang proseso. When they do an oversight hearing, meron silang findings, i-forward nila ngayon sa DOJ with their own recommendations as to how to handle the findings in the hearings. So we will go now to DOJ.
The Department of Justice is eyeing to issue subpoenas to all those who spoke during the Quad Committee hearing on the war on drugs, including former President Rodrigo Duterte. The DOJ explained being a former chief executive does not make Duterte immune from suit, because it is only the sitting president that has such privilege under the law. However, even though it is possible to charge the former president, they will not just be filing a harassment case and will make sure they have enough evidence collated, possibly from Quadcom itself and from Task Force on Extrajudicial Killings as well.
We will look into that possibility, but as of now, there are already admissions on record made by the former president, and that is evidence that is admissible because these are all under oath and in a public proceeding.
The local government of Canlaon City is preparing for the so-called Upland Exodus, where all Canlaon residents need to evacuate the entire city if Mount Canlaon's alert status is raised to level 5. According to Canlaon City LGU, they must prepare transportation to evacuate nearly 60,000 residents. Currently, the Office of Civil Defense Region 7 is coordinating with all relevant government agencies.
And the worst case scenario, 14-kilometer radius away from the crater, engulfed yun halos lahat ng Canlaon City. So sabi ko kay Governor, suggestion lang is that we prepare for that. Prepare for the worst. Going outside ka dapat if you run away from, you run away outside of the circle, di ba? Yung the center. So palabas talaga, Valle Hermoso talaga yung kanilang welcoming committee. So pag magkaroon ng spillover, may konting spillover sa Gihulngan. Kasi mayroong side naman ng Canlaon City na sakop na ng Gihulngan.
The National Commission for Culture and the Arts has unveiled its key priorities for 2025, aiming to use culture and the arts as powerful tools to address pressing issues such as climate change, technological advancement, and globalization. Philippine Information Agency Central Luzon's Aldrin Malyari tells us more in this report.
The National Commission for Culture and the Arts, or NCCA, has announced its priority plans for 2025, which aims to harness culture and arts as tools for resilience and sustainability in the face of modern challenges. During the Bagong Pilipinas Town Hall meeting held in Mabalacat City, NCCA Executive Director Eric Zarudo said their programs, projects, and activities align with the Philippine Development Plan for Culture and the Arts 2024 to 2029.
Ang number one priority talaga is paano magagamit ang culture and arts sa larangan ng climate change, sa larangan ng mga bagong development pressures tulad ng technology, particularly ng AI, sa larangan ng globalization, migration and movement sa tourism. Lahat po ito ay dapat makita natin ang kabuluhan ng ating culture and arts.
The NCCA is also prioritizing collaborative projects that integrate culture and arts into education, tourism, infrastructure, and conservation efforts. From the PIA Central Luzon, Aldrin Malyari for Balitang Pambansa.
The Office of the Special Assistant to the President, or OSAP, strongly condemns the recent killings in Raja Buayan, Maguindanao del Sur. Heartfelt condolences are extended to the family of Jean Uto Luminda Basalo and her 3-month-old daughter. The national government remains committed to ensuring the safety of all citizens and will not tolerate acts of violence. Coordination with local law enforcement is ongoing to conduct a swift and thorough investigation and bring the perpetrators to justice. Efforts are being made now to prevent similar incidents and to strengthen security measures in the affected area. The commitment to fostering peace and stability extends not just to Raja Buayan but to the entire region.
Meanwhile, top artisans took center stage at the inaugural Made in CDO event, a collaborative effort by the Department of Trade and Industry, Misamis Oriental, Oro Trade Investment Promotion Center, and Kami Creative Group. Philippine Information Agency Region 10's Jam Rukat has the details.
Top artisans take center stage in the inaugural event dubbed MADE, Makers, Artists, Artisans, Design, Exposition in CDO, spearheaded by the Department of Trade and Industry Misamis Oriental in collaboration with Oro Trade and Investment Promotion Center, Cagayan de Oro City, and Kami Creative Group. Made in CDO serves as a platform for makers and artisans to present their works and foster appreciation for local craftsmanship and artistry while promoting Cagayan de Oro as a hub for creative excellence.
This flagship event highlights the incredible talent and creativity of our local community. Through this initiative, we celebrate our heritage, spark innovation, and inspire a new generation of creatives.
Creator-entrepreneur Jerome Bayawa of Team Graphica mainly designs logos but recently explored the world of 3D printing.
But now we're into 3D printed toys, and we also do custom 3D prints as well. And I believe that with more events like this, it will help the creative industry get more traction. It will give us more reach to the local markets.
Republic Act 11904, or the Philippine Creative Industries Development Act, protects and strengthens the rights and capacities of creative firms, artists, artisans, creators, indigenous cultural communities, and other stakeholders. From Philippine Information Agency Region 10, Jam Rukat for Balitang Pambansa.
Something light for the president shared his plans for the upcoming Christmas season. The first family will celebrate Christmas in Manila. The holiday plans also include a trip to Bagong for some relaxation and a visit to Ilocos, where they hope to spend time with local communities and relatives. The president emphasized his responsibilities as the nation's leader do not stop even during the holidays. He assured the public that he remains focused on fulfilling his duties and overseeing the government's programs and initiatives.
I don't have off days. Hindi ako kasama dyan. Hindi kami kasama sa bakasyon, sa holiday, sa weekend. Hindi kami kasama na. We're always on call.
And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Abiba Saripao Dak, and this is Balitang Pambansa.